Hi, Mimi makers. I hope some of you are already here. I noticed that I was a minute late. Go figure. I just got caught up in looking at some pretty things and some new stitch samples of the Baby Lock APPLAUD. I don't know if you saw that we've gotten them into the shop. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I have a whole stack of stitch samples that we've already created. It is the new, if you're not familiar with what the Baby Lock APPLAUD is, it is the new creative cover stitch. So not only do you get your regular cover stitch that we had before with the needles and then your looper on the back, no, you also get a top cover stitch. And this one is the one that I did a reel about yesterday. The thread that we put in there is actually a pearl cotton size 5. Look at the thickness and decorativeness of this thread. And this is the faux leather cocoa that we released last week that I wasn't able to show you because I couldn't do the video last week. So I apologize for that. So I'm just gonna quickly recap not everything from last week, but I do want to talk about the cocoa faux leather that we got in, which is different than the other faux leathers we have, because most of the faux leathers we have in the shop are better for like bag making or upholstery projects, things like that. Whereas this one is good for a variety of things. So the cocoa is a really soft leather, fabric backed, and look at this. You can scrunch that, and this will actually relax. Like I've scrunched this so many times, and in a little while this will be perfectly smooth again. It also has a little bit of stretch this way. You can see it has a bit of stretch on the bias. No stretch this way or this way, which makes it really, really nice for clothing. So you could make pants, you can make skirts. I did post a picture of a wrap skirt that I actually made years ago, because this was a leather that we had 4 years ago and they just re-released it. So if you're wondering why I have short hair in the picture, that's because that was a while ago. But still amazing for bags. So what I do for bag making, I just interface it with SF101. So that there is no stretch, unless you really want to stretch. And I forgot to bring the clutch that I wanted to show. I don't know if Hisa is watching this, but if she is, then maybe she can bring in the clutch that she made out of this faux leather. There are pictures of it online, and it's absolutely fantastic because it has these pleats, and then you get the soft drape from that. Because look how, like, when you have a fold on this one, it's not like, you don't get like a hard edge, which you couldn't do with like a Rex, for example. So this is really, really nice and soft. And I did make this one. Oh, she heard me. Did she hear me? He said, could you bring the clutch? The clutch? Oh no, it was outside. I was showing it to somebody yesterday. Maybe just didn't get back, but that's okay. If we can't find it, then that's okay. This is one that I made the other day, and now I can't remember what the pattern was, but I will post a reel about it today, and then I'll make sure I put the pattern on online. I don't remember. I thought this was going to be like a really cute, if you go to a wedding or an event, or for the knitters and crocheters, this would be a really nice project bag, because you can put a skein of yarn in it, and then you can knit and crochet, and you can just have it there on the go. You could even use, if you wanted to, because this one has an eyelet installation, you could even do either an extra one, or you could use this one to feed your yarn through. I mean, would be really nice. And I sewed this entire bag on my domestic machine, so I didn't use a specialty machine, because I did want to show that this leather is really buttery soft, and you can sew it on your regular domestic machine. You do not need an industrial strength machine for this one, but you do need a Microtex needle. So Microtex 80 is what I used for this one, and I lined it with this beautiful cotton that we got in 2 weeks ago, and I think it's so pretty. And then the eyelets I did with the Vario Creative tool. It was so easy. It was like the times where you had to do this with a hammer. I was always avoiding the eyelets, even though I love the look of eyelets, because the only way to do it was with the hammer, because the larger eyelets you couldn't even do with the Prim Vario pliers, because they can only do the small ones, like the 5 millimeters and the 8 millimeters, because there's not a lot of surface where you can apply pressure. And this one was done with the Vario Creative table tool. And there's so many fun colors. I think there's like 12 different colors of this. and I did the white ones. It was so easy to install. She found it. And then there's some tassels that I did myself, and I just attached it with this. This is a new product that we got in, the Fabric Fusion glue. This is a permanent glue that is not brittle. Like, so when I touch this, this has like some spring to it, and I was able to just glue these on here. So that is and it's really easy to use because it has a applicator tip. Oh, I didn't close that really well. There you go. It has an applicator tip, and that makes it really easy. So if you need to bond anything permanently, we do have the Fabric Fusion pens in now. And yeah, and it has some Emeline hardware here, and you could easily just make a longer strap if you wanted this to be a crossbody bag. So cocoa, faux leather, super soft. We do have it in, this is one of the metallics, and so is this. This is the Emeline, forgot the name of the pattern. I know it's an Emeline pattern, but see how nicely this pleat drapes here. And then there's some Soft and Stable by Annie's in there, and this clip, and this is like a super cute little wristlet. And Hisai actually made it for me in this small as well, which is, it has the Flora, thank you, the Flora wristlet. And I have like a small version of it, which I can either use as a coin purse. Sometimes I use it for my stitch markers. So this is, again, the metallic charcoal. And then we also have some matte colors as well. So the metallic and the matte. I highly encourage you to give this a try for your bags, jackets, all of the things. And then my next one's definitely going to have some direct decorative stitching on it. All right, on we go. I'm just going to continue with the yarns real quick because there's one new yarn that came in, and I just am trying not to drop this ball that I have here. So there's the LANDLUST Soft Tweed 90, which is a bulky yarn, and you probably know the LANDLUST line of LANA GROSSA already. It is a German word, and what LANDLUST means is just like the joy for the countryside. So it has more of a country feel to it. And that's what the LANDLUST line is. It's like a little bit more supposed to be down to earth, country charm. And this tweed is absolutely fantastic. It is 100% virgin merino. Yes, 100% virgin merino, made in Italy, all mulesing free. And just look at the, let me see if I can, which side do you want the light from? This side? I feel like I need to reposition my light here. There you go. And then you have these beautiful color slubs in there. So the green has some teal, a hint of purple, and some yellow in there. And it's a really, really nice texture. Then almost lost my my light here. So the dark blue has like some light blue and ice blue in it. Then there's the natural one that has like a variation of natural tones in it. The light gray with some lighter speckles. The charcoal with some lighter speckles. Hello, Mama. Then the medium gray, which also has a little bit of blue in it. I don't know if you can see this. The medium gray also has a little bit of blue in it. And then last but not least, obviously, my favorite color is this pink with some darker pink and natural tones in it. And there's a lot of really fantastic patterns for it, but also do look at the gauge. There's some fantastic patterns on Ravelry that you could use with this one as well. I might be posting some ideas in our knitting group later today. If you're not part of our knitting social group on Facebook, definitely check that out. It is in the description of this video, or you can go on Facebook and look for it. It's called Mimi Makers Knitting and Crochet. So one of the patterns that I have listed for this is this one. It's going to be part of the knitting specials of the week. This nice slip over vest with a high slit on the side, and you could easily adjust that if you wanted to make it longer or shorter. Now there are other LANDLUST soft tweed patterns. It takes me quite some time to list these on the website, but if you wanted to look for others, here's what you can do. You can go to the LANA GROSSA website, lanagrossa.com, and you can, if you want something that's specific for that yarn, you type in LANDLUST soft tweed in the search bar. And then at the when you go to the page of that yarn, all the way on the bottom, there will be pictures of patterns that have already been knitted with these. All I will need from you is the, it will say which publication it was in and which pattern number it is. That's all I need. Like, we have access to them electronically. So if there's a different one that you saw and you'd really like to knit it with this yarn, just send me an email or a message and say, hey, I would like a bundle with this pattern, and we can absolutely put that together for you. You also should take some time to go to the LANA GROSSA website and just go to magazines, and then you can see the latest publications, and usually the publications have a mix of yarns and patterns in it. I think the Nordic knits just got released, the new one, the new Jomitolo just got released. So there's lots of new ones. It's just like an electronic version of the magazine that you can look through, and you can see pictures of all of the new styles in there. And then all you need to write down is the publication and the pattern number, and we can set you up. So that is the one for the LANDLUST soft tweed. But then there's some new ones in the Nordic knits that just got released. So I listed a couple of those. This cardigan from the Nordic knits. Oh, it's so light colored, it's hard to see. It's actually a cable cardigan, which is so, so beautiful. And this is knitted with 2 yarns held together, the Ecopuno and the Silk Hair, both fantastic yarns. The Ecopuno is a blend of cotton and alpaca, I think. Let me see. Cotton, merino, and baby alpaca. And then the Silk Hair is a mix of silk and mohair, and you hold them together. And this one's actually knitted with the ice blue Silk Hair and it's like a beige colored Ecopuno. So depending on which 2 colors you choose, you can create some really, really nice textures with this one. Then another one that I have been eyeing, like I saw it, I'm like, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. This is made with the natural alpaca lungo, which is a really, really fluffy, longer haired alpaca yarn. And you can see how warm and cozy and soft this is. So this pattern, when you select the bundle, you'll choose the main color. And then in the color choice number 2, you'll have to select, I think it says choose 4. It's 4 or 5, because you need 4 or 5 colors of this one, and you just multiple select those, and then it will put the bundle together for you. And again, I'm super happy to help you figure out some colors. Just send us a message. Easiest is probably on Facebook, because then I can just send some pictures back if you wanted some color coordination. And I had to list this one because I'm obsessed. I know that this would take a little bit longer to knit, even though it's probably knitted with a relatively large knitting needle. Let me see. It's knitted with a 5 and 6 millimeters, so not too bad. And also with the natural alpaca lungo, which is gonna be so cozy, so cozy. And you could make it shorter too if you don't feel like making it this long. But you know, I think we all need a long coat like this. Oh, die Jana schaut auch. Hallo Jana. Ich vermisse dich ganz arg. My goddaughter in Germany is also watching. Jana is her name, so I'm always happy when she's watching me. Auch wenn du nicht alles verstehst, ich denke ganz fest an dich, Jana. Okay, so that were the yarns and the patterns for this week. And now we get into the really exciting fabrics. I'm going to start with what's right behind me, which is the new Quilted Velvet fabric Osaka. If you remember, a little while ago, we had a very similar one in store called Tokyo. So it is the same feel, just a different color scheme and different quilting patterns. The Tokyo was all like little, what is it called? Diamonds. And this one has a couple of different ones. So we have 1, 2, 3 patterns. So we have the little zigzags, which are the ones that I have on top. Then we have an onion shape, and then we have a larger diamond. And these are absolutely fantastic. I'm actually going to show it on this sample. Like I have started to make a backpack. Didn't get finished yet, but you'll see this very soon. So the outer is like really, really soft, really nice. And it does have a nap. So if you're making a jacket out of it, definitely you have to be careful with the nap that it goes this way. Like, I could do this all day. It's so beautiful. And this is an unlined fabric. So you have the outer, and then you have the batting, and then you have a web that is holding the batting in. So most likely for most things, you're lining it anyway. So I am making a coat, which I also didn't finish in time to show it off, but I promise it's going to be done soon so that I can show you. And the coat also has a lining, and the bag will have a lining as well. So this is going to be great for bags, for jackets. And I have included the pattern names for the jackets that the German test sewers from Swafing, this is a Swafing fabric that they made. I know they're all German patterns, but Google is your friend. Google Translate does get you really far, and usually these patterns, I think most of the ones that I looked at have really great pictures and descriptions on how to sew them. This fabric is super resistant. Like, this is actually not delicate. It actually has a Martindale scale of 60,000, above 60,000, which means 60,000 rubs before it starts wearing through. That is quite impressive. Hence, it's really great for bags. I've seen somebody reupholstering a whole bench with it. You could do cushions. You can do so many things. So this is the ochre yellow in the zigzag. So it's not a full diamond. It's more of a zigzag on it. And that zigzag we have in 3 colors. So we have the ochre, we have this grayish, and this burgundy. And now I thought that I had different ones up here, but I will just get these out of the way. They're so heavy, guys. Like, I have to really move them around so I can show you the others. Then there's this large scale diamond. That's the one that I'm making my jacket out of. I mean, surprise, surprise. I chose the pink. Nobody's surprised at all. So larger scale, also really fantastic. This is a light pink. And then again, you have the web lining. And this is a special edition, just like the Tokyo was. So once these are gone, they're gone. Absolutely fantastic edition. So do get your hands on that. And that one we have in the pink and the gray. So this is more of a cool gray, whereas this one was a grayish. So it has a warmer undertone. And then last but not least, we have the onion shape. It's really beautiful. So there's this green. It's almost like a mallard green. Can you see the nap on this one? Yeah, it's really easy to see. The mallard green and this beautiful, beautiful teal. Oh, this one's going to hit me in a second. And a beautiful teal. I'm going to put them up next to each other. Maybe it's easier to see the difference in color. I think in the pictures it's going to come out much better. There's like an overlay of both of the colors because, you know, my the color compensation on the camera. But so this is more green. This has like a blue undertone. Both really, really beautiful. Oh, there's one more. Oh, my goodness. There's the orange. There's the orange that I totally forgot to show you. Let me get that out. It was hiding. Last but not least, whoops. Last but not least, the orange. I mean, that is a great color. I think somebody made a short jacket of the test sewist. Again, do look at the pictures in the products. I'll also have all of those links in the newsletter tomorrow to make sure that you can all find those. So those are the colors for these. And then we have a lot of really wonderful knits that came in. And I am going to start with the Beyond Nordic collection, which is all a French terry in really fantastic colors for the cooler seasons. So number one, I mean, right off the bat, I'm starting with a good one. The polar bears on this mauve purple. And this is almost, I think it's lightly brushed. I would still call it French terry, but it feels like it's very lightly brushed. You can still see the loops on the back. And how cute is this? There's the polar bear mama with the baby polar bear, and there's snowflakes, and there's like some icebergs on it. And this is a really, really beautiful mauve. And it has a decent amount of stretch. And as you know, the Swafing ones are always a little bit wider. So these are really nice and wide and absolutely gorgeous. And there's another color in the polar bear, which is at the bottom of the stack. So you're going to have to wait to see the other color. But there's 2 colors of polar bears. There's this beautiful mauve, which almost reminds me a little bit of a, just the way the background is done. It could be like a purple hue of an aurora, which I really like. So you could combine it with some other prints maybe to really bring that out. Next one in that collection is the, I think this is still the, yep, it's still the Beyond Nordic. So same base with the snowmen. I mean, we all like the snowmen, right? So the snowmen on this denim-y dark blue, and there's a little bird. Could be, oh, it's a little robin. There's snowflakes on there, and it is really beautiful. Again, really nice and stretchy, this one. And there's also the snowflakes only. So the snowflakes only, which you can, again, use on its own, but it is the same snowflakes and the same color as the snowman. So if you wanted to color block that, you could also get these snowflakes. And the snowflakes only came on the blue. So they will, I do think that you can mix and match. You could still use the blue with the purple. It's going to be more of a color block, but the snowflakes were only available on the blue. So if you wanted the exact blue, then the blue snowman and the blue polar bears have the same snowflakes in the same blue background as this one. Next up are penguins. We haven't had penguins in a while. I feel like there's always just one or two penguin prints that come in. So here's one. I feel like there might be another one coming in a week or two. And this has a little penguin family on it with a bit of snow flurries. And these are absolutely gorgeous. About like 2.5 inches in height. Really cute. And there's also some really nice sweater samples in the product of the German test sewists. They did a really great job. And then last but not least of this collection are the polar bears in the dark blue, and they really pop in this color. And you can see it's the same little snowflakes. Oops, do you see the little snowflakes on here? They are the same as on the snowflake print, and such a nice fabric. I love the weight of it. Definitely snatch some of this up. Then we have some fabrics that you may have seen got a little bit water damaged, and I am going to talk about this so that you know what that means. So out of the panels, this one's actually one that didn't get damaged, but we have 3 panels that got a little bit wet. So everything that was water damaged was only water damaged on the selvage. On the selvage meaning only on this side here. So if it says, I did describe like how much of it was wet. So this one didn't have anything. I will show you on the next one where the water damage is. And most likely it's going to wash out. I just can't guarantee it. It was clean water that got on it. It was, you know, they arrived on a rainy day and there was like a hole in the wrapping. And so that's how these things happen. So this is a panel. And I just love these panels because you can, so you can fussy cut it to have this on the front, and we just don't get beautiful pictures like that very often. So this one has the deer on the front, and then on the other side of the panel it says into the wild. So you could either make 2 sweaters, the front panel out of this. So this is about this big. It's about 85 in height and then 116 width. And there's also this really cool, where is it? Right here. Right here, you have this into the wild. So you could put that like as a stripe on the side, or you could put it like down the middle of a hood. If you have like a 3-part hood, you know, that has like the stripe in the middle, you could use this to put the wild on there. But so there's like a lot of possibilities with this. And then the background is this gray speckled. There is a solid that is a perfect match. So there's this one, which is one of the water damaged ones. You could also use a color. You could use a black with it if you wanted more contrast. So what does this mean? So all of this is fine. Never got wet. Nothing happened. And we did dry all of this. So this is not wet anymore. By dry, I mean we laid it out all over the shop to dry this selvage. So there are parts where you see nothing, but I just, oh, now I can't even see it. I guess it dried so well. But so what happened with this one is from here to here, in this case, I think it was like 3 or 4 inches, it was wet. So in some cases, that means you can see that the fabric is already a little bit darker because, you know, it got wet once and the other ones are still like freshly printed, never washed. Most likely, I do think that they're like nothing's going to happen. They are cheaper. We did discount those fabrics for that. But just rest assured that basically it just makes your fabric a little less wide if the selvage were unusable, if that didn't resolve. But as you can see on this one, you can't even see it anymore. But I did want to disclose that. So there's no flaw on the rest of the fabric. It was just on the selvage. And I think this was the only one that had it to like here. The other ones are more like Very, very little of it that got wet, but we did disclose it, so it will be in the description how much of the fabric of the selvage was wet. Then we have this cute little monster collection, which is also all 3 of those, I think, or 2 of them. Whatever I put in the description, those are the ones that did get a little bit wet. And I'm like, I am completely honest, I can't even see it anymore. We dried it so well, but just in case, if there is any discoloration from that, we did disclose it and we did make sure that we wrote it down. So these ones were only like this much of it got wet. So if anything, you're just losing 1 monster on these ones. And they're so cute. And there's some beautiful, beautiful little patterns that people have sewn up. So these are jersey. So the 3 prints in this collection are jersey, and they would make the cutest little shirts for kids that maybe are not old enough for like the scary monsters for Halloween. So you could use it for that. I mean, my kids wear monster things all year round, so that's fine. I think it could also be a cute little PJ, a t-shirt, a sweater, or so many things. Definitely look at the samples that the German test sewist made, because there's some really cute dresses and tops that I've seen. So this is the number 1. This is a dark blue with these monsters, or monster. Monster is the collection right here. Monster. This is Monster Boys. And it has the stars and the music and things like that. Ignore the boys thing. Like, I do dislike when they do that, but that's a very European thing where it seems like they have not switched that yet to just saying Monster Kids. I mean, that would have been totally fine. But anyways, let's just ignore the selvage. Next up, this one, which says, and I just realized that now that it says that, this one says Monster Girls. It's the other monsters. We call them the other monsters. And they're so cute. Look at them. It's like a light pastel mint background. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different monsters on this. We have the pink one. We have this little one with the wings. Then we have this cutie and the gray one. And there's also the musical notes in the back. There's the pennants. There's heart balloons. So many cute things. And I think this would be really nice to even combine with like a solid of any of these colors if you wanted to. But there's a really cute dress with ruffles that somebody made out of this one. And I love them. I hope somebody's going to give them to a really special person. And then this one is the same one, but just with a darker background. So this is the same 4 monsters that I just showed you, darker background. This one, instead of, no, it still has the musical notes. Oh, there you go. It has the same. So it has the musical notes. They're just easier to see. The music, because the other one's more pastel-y, and this one, the background is not. So you still have the pennants and the musical notes and stars on this one. So these 3 are all jersey, and all the ones that have the description that say water damaged. Again, it was this much of the selvage that was wet, which we have completely dried, but hence the fabrics are a little bit discounted for you. And then last but not least, we have one more French terry. And I don't know if this is a German thing, why I love this so much. I do hope that people here will appreciate it, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes there's something that I really love, and then later on people are like, is that like, it's not a thing here, like, must that? And then I realized it was just something that I really enjoyed. So we used to make these back home as a kid out of paper. We'd fold these little wind wheels. I don't even know if what they're called. Wind wheels? Are they called wind wheels here too? And we used to do the origami for it, and I really loved them. And this one, I guess it's supposed to be out of newspaper. And if you look at it, I don't think that it is. It might be. If you look really close, there might be some German words on it, but it doesn't really matter. It is so beautiful, and it is a dark foresty green, and I just love this. This is something that we haven't had before. It's just something different, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So that was the last of the prints for this week. I think I didn't forget anything. I feel like there was so much, and there's so many you can see in the back. There's more that just came in, which is like a little sneak peek for next week. I'll be busy listing more and more, and I hope that you are thoroughly inspired buy some of the knitting projects, the sewing projects, maybe get yourself a Baby Lock Applaud. I think the people that have pre-ordered theirs, I think they've all been notified. There are still pinwheels. Thank you, Susan, pinwheels. But we still have 1 or 2 from this shipment. Like there's more coming later, but from this first shipment, I think we still have 1 or 2 available. So if you have been eyeing the Baby Lock Applaud, do give us a call. It is not at this point an online machine, so you won't be able to buy that online anywhere. So you'll have to come in the store or call us and we can hook you up. And we'll be taking many, many videos to inspire you because we have lots of great ideas for it. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions on these, feel free to message us through our Facebook page or email us at info@mimifabrics.ca. And yeah, all of these will be available tomorrow, Friday, September the 13th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you signed up for our newsletter, you'll get a newsletter the moment it becomes available. And I will see you next week. Bye for now.